serve you and serve your needs.
Thank you for all of your calls and for shopping with us. Stay right there to take advantage of that today's special pricing. Again, I've never seen this done before. It's the same pricing that we had a couple weeks ago when it was a Today Special.
And if I could interject quickly, what I wanted to say is, given what's going on in the world, I really don't feel comfortable increasing our prices. Normally, it's a special event when we have the volume of a Today Special and things like that, that allows us to manufacture products and make them affordable, like as we're doing with our omega-3 today. But given what's going on in the world, until the world calms down or until our supplies run out, we will continue at our extra special pricing for the non-featured items. If it's a Today Special, until they run out, we will feature it at its Today Special price. And as you see with Essential 1, it ran out 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But we scrounged and we found raw materials, so we continued making more, and that more is being delivered to you today.
And we appreciate it very, very much. We're doing all that we can at HSN with flex pays and 90-day return policies, and of course, free shipping and handling. Andrew, we're gonna continue on in our second and final hour of the day. Remember our big Today Specials, final presentations on omega-3 and Choco Nouveau. But we wanna spend a little bit of time on Secure, the world's most nutritious and delicious meal replacement. We're gonna talk about low calorie, we're gonna talk about flavor, because it is gorgeous. And I say that whether you're choosing vanilla or chocolate or coffee, or my favorite, the pina colada. Andrew, so many of us, I think, are spending a bit more time trying to take advantage of this moment in time, looking after ourselves. Maybe we want to lose a little weight or lean up or try and get some more exercise. This is one of those products that is not only so effective, but it's so enjoyable to take.
Well, the reason why we're talking about Secure a little bit more than we normally would, at least back in March we did, is I remember back in 2007, 2008, when we had sort of an economic crisis there, an economic meltdown, the Great Recession, many folks had written to me that Secure, because of its affordability, if you're looking today, the large size, it's less than 80 cents a meal. The next to large size is a little over 80 cents a meal, and these are comprehensive, complete meals with protein, vitamins, minerals, the nutrition that you need. That they said that Secure was the difference in making their budget every month. So it's an opportunity to be more economical. It's delivered to your house. So again, if you're someone who's not going out, like I'm bringing food to my mom and things like that, you just have to be sure, be careful now, especially if you're older, that you want to make sure that you're doing things in a responsible fashion. So we make it easy. We get it delivered to you. So it's giving you the nutrition you want. If again, silver lining, we're kind of stuck at home, we can't do a lot of things, maybe it's an opportunity for us to focus on delivering ourselves a little bit healthier, losing a little weight, changing our body composition. So Secure could do that. So it saves you money. It's the lowest calorie meal replacement. And best of all, even if you're just doing it because it's affordable and it's simple and it can be delivered to your house, our Secure, the flavors, and again, I'm celebrating because I think of the flavors as you're doing that, and you're showing everyone how you don't need a blender. You can mix this with water. When I'm traveling, I can mix it with my finger in a glass.
Right.
And what Adam is doing there, he's putting 3 scoops in. That's 3 meals, just to show you how easy it is to mix, that most products, 1 scoop barely mixes. You could put 3 scoops in a serving and it mixes easily. But the flavors on all of these, when I first introduced my meal replacement, I guess this is when I say I'm sort of sensitive about reviews, is the reviews were terrible. And that's because I focused on the science. I focused on the protein and the nature of the protein and the vitamins and the minerals and how comprehensive it was. I didn't focus on the flavor. So the reviews were horrendous. And then I realized I needed to focus on the flavor. So where did I go? I went to the guys that are responsible for the flavors of the shakes that you see when you go to your favorite fast food restaurant or your favorite coffee shop. So I went to these flavor houses that are responsible for that. And I said, okay, we want to take all of this wonderful vitamin mineral technology, complete meal replacement technology, but we want to envelop it in the flavors and tastes that have been created for these incredible chocolate shakes, vanilla shakes, pina colada, which has become our most popular product right now, or our coffee shake. And they delivered these flavor blends that were absolutely remarkable. And of course, I'm kind of obsessive about flavor, so I made them work on this for several years. But the end result are the flavors, and we constantly adapt them. The end result are the flavors that you now experience. So if you want the most affordable, the lowest calorie, it is the cheapest, the least expensive meal replacement, the lowest calorie meal replacement, the best tasting meal replacement, the most comprehensive in terms of nutrition as well. There you have it.
Most meal replacements, though, Andrew, to that end, the reason why we don't succeed with them is because we don't like them. I mean, this one, I've already grabbed the pina colada. I'm making my way through it. It's delicious, so you continue with it. That's what's so fabulous.
And I'm so jealous that you're drinking that there, and I don't have it here.
I made one for you, Andrew. It's right here waiting for you, your favorite chocolate.
I'm going to make a yummy smoothie when I get home, because what I'll do is I'll take the vanilla. The vanilla mixes well with everything, and the vanilla is great. We always have frozen berries in the freezer, so I'll throw blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, dark cherries, pineapple, banana, and you throw that into the vanilla, so you get all the nutrition and nutritious benefits, and then you get all the healthy benefits of fruit. And what's great, if you're watching your weight, it still is going to be barely 100 calories or so, because these are so low in calories and so rich in flavor that whatever you mix it with magically tastes delicious.
We'd love for you to shop. Again, several options, 10 meals through to 100 meals. For those of us that are looking for something to our door, I think it's a great way to go. You don't have to leave the house and go to the grocery store. It is available. Andrew, we're going to segue over to circulation and vein support. We had a huge reaction to this last night, as we always do. Feel the difference, see the difference in so many ways in less than 30 days. Of course, at the moment, you've got 90 days with our return policy. Over 2,400 five-star reviews. Andrew, whether we're up and about and we're active or we're sat at home, as we're doing right now, a very important and effective product.
Well, our circulation is something that, the aging process is not kind. I can say that firsthand, because I choose to remain as active as I've always been. But aging forces us to pay attention to our body. If we ignore our body, eventually our body gets the last laugh. So it doesn't pay to ignore your body. And we see the changes in the circulation in our legs. We feel the changes in the circulation in our legs. And if you're feeling and seeing those things, it means that something is going on. And it really pays that we address those things. And those normal, natural changes in the circulation of our legs, it's not something you just throw up your hands and say, gosh, it's aging and it's not fun, but I just have to tolerate it, grin and bear it. It's not the case. And the abundance of research and clinical science on the ingredients in this product is astounding. I could have charts stacked yay high from the floor up there, just the research, the publications themselves on diosmin, on butcher's broom, on horse chestnut. This is by far and away the most comprehensive circulation product in the world. The product with the most clinical support in terms of the ingredients that we've selected and chosen. It's remarkable. And the reviews are beyond passionate, beyond inspirational. I encourage you to read them. And when we're stuck at home, there are two things that tend to be really not in favor of healthy circulation, either the way it looks or the way it feels. The swelling in our feet, ankles, and calves. It's being too sedentary or standing too much. And unfortunately, a lot of us now are being too sedentary. We've always called this the nurse's product, because when we first introduced it, it seemed every person that called in to review the product and talk about the product was a nurse. And that's an appropriate segue for me to just say that the people on the front lines, and I have friends, obviously, from my past schooling who are working in the medical profession, and it's a difficult world. They're in the trenches. They're working so hard, dealing with difficult circumstances and inadequate supply of the tools they need, and they still show up every day and do what they do amid great risk to their personal health and personal safety. A medical email that I get, newsletter that I get every day updates the list of healthcare workers who've passed away providing services. So again, anything we can do locally, anything we can do to support them, it's something that as a company, I'm trying to figure out something we could do, some way to say thank you and to support them in the face of this. But Again, just nurses work incredibly hard anyhow because they're on their feet for long shifts working on hard floors. Imagine what it's like today. So it's a product that it's a difficult time for all of us. It's an exceedingly difficult time for many of us because of the profession that they might have chosen. So it's something I think we need to recognize it in ourselves and also perhaps recognize it in others and figure out how we could share.
Well, I just opened one of the capsules up, Andrew, so everybody could see. Soft and fine, a powder that is easy on the stomach. And I do want to take this moment as well. Andrew, you're saying thanks to all of the first responders out there, all of the amazing, and there's so many people, from teachers and grocery store workers who are trying to help get us through this in every possible way. But there is something to be said as well, if I may, about what you've done all of these years. You have put a focus on being environmentally responsible. And so many companies sadly don't do the same thing. If we were to go, as we do throughout the year, to Andrew's facility in Henderson, Nevada, it's amazing. And Andrew, it's all powered by the sun.
Well, we've always chosen, even long before we talked about climate change and global warming or things like that, the simple fact that when you burn fuel, whether it's, natural gas or gasoline or coal to make energy, that creates pollution. We're not talking about CO2, we're just talking about pollution. So it's desirable if a company, when it creates energy, if it doesn't create any pollution at all. So I wanted to be a clean company, and this goes back 30 plus years. I've wanted to be a clean company, long before climate change became a point of discussion. So that's something I've always wanted to do. I want to be, it's something that I always was fascinated by. I love to go out in nature, and I've always admired just the philosophy of Native Americans and their respect for nature. And for me, there was always a Native American saying that I found incredibly appealing, that when you go out in nature, and I spend probably almost every day I spend time out in nature, that the only thing you leave behind are footprints,
right,
and the only thing you take with you are memories. And that's how I want to go about doing what we do as a company, is that we want to leave everyone with good memories, but we don't want to leave any mess behind. We want to make sure we only leave behind footprints. And then of course, we also do our Vitamin Angels. Our partners, Vitamin Angels, they make sure that the prenatal vitamins we make, and we've made, I think, close to a couple of billion, that's billion with a B, a couple of billion doses of prenatal vitamins. They get them to mothers all around the world. 25% right here in America, again, speaking of Native American, at Native American reservations, at the inner city, in rural America. We get them to mothers in need, because the extent to which a mother is well nourished, that's the extent to which the neurological development, the brain development of the child will be improved, the health of the mother will be improved, the outcome of the pregnancy improved. So again, it improves our societies, it improves the lives of children. So it's another wonderful thing. So again, my focus is always trying to see how much good we can spread, not just in the products that improve the quality of your lives, but using my company as an opportunity to spread even more good around the world.
And you are a part of that, everybody. When you place your orders with Andrew's products here on HSN, you are a part of doing that good. And we appreciate you and thank you for it. Stay with us. Coming up, our final chances today on our Maximum Omega-3 and, of course, Choco Nouveau. Next up, though, let's talk about one of Andrew's truly top-rated products, something that we all need to keep going, and that is a great source of energy. Andrew has been and will always be a leader when it comes to coenzyme Q10. Way back when Andrew really introduced this and brought it to the forefront to the United States, it started momentum, Andrew, and today CoQ10 continues to be one of our biggest selling products, not just here, but around the country. The difference is yours is different altogether.
Well, it always has been. And what surprised me, because when I introduced CoQ10, I started my company in 1979. That's when I started manufacturing vitamins, back in 1979. And we introduced CoQ10 as part of our product line in 1984. What surprised me and astounded me was that no one else had done that.
Right.
That if you looked at the science, if you looked at the research, it was absolutely inescapable. The most important single ingredient that anyone could provide in terms of supporting energy production on a cellular level that can make a difference in how we feel and how we move through the world, and even more importantly, make a difference in how our key organs function, it would be CoQ10. So, but what I learned early on when I started my company in 1979 is that most vitamins are manufactured by contract manufacturers.
Right.
And most of the folks making vitamins, this is going to sound terrible, really didn't care about the latest science.
Right.
Really didn't care about the latest research because they weren't reviewing it. That most of the vitamins that are sold in America are store brands. And store brands, they have brands of toilet paper, they have brands of paper towel, they have brands of shampoo, they have brands of everything. So it's just another commodity to them, a vitamin. So they never really thought about the interests and the needs. And in fact, the only reason CoQ10 became popular is because the entire business model for my company, we had no advertising budget. The entire business model for my company was education. So even before I was on television back in January 1991 is when I started on QVC.
Wow.
I just did seminars where I talked to doctors, and that's what I figured, what a great way to spread the interest about my products. I talked to nutritionally informed doctors, and they would share the information about my products to their patients. So that was my business model back then. It was all word of mouth. Because again, I had no advertising budget. We still don't have an advertising budget. So I just thank HSN and QVC for the opportunity to, normally I'm standing on a set in St. Petersburg or in Westchester, Pennsylvania, but here I'm sitting in a chair at home. So as much as I might appear comfortable, I really would love the world to go back to normal so I could be there. And everybody, I know we all long for that, and it will return to normal. I know it always feels like it's such an insurmountable obstacle that we're up against, but it's not some invisible, mysterious foe. It's a virus. And viruses are predictable, and the scientists understand how they work. So if we just listen to the recommendations, this too shall pass. It will take some time, but really what's interesting is our doctors often tell us one-on-one, if we follow our doctor's instructions and do what we're supposed to do, we will get a better outcome. So now we just have to follow the instructions we're getting. And as a society, the collective impact that we all as individuals can have will be a positive impact. And it's funny when I talk about CoQ10, unlike a stimulant that gives you more energy by stimulating your brain and central nervous system, the way CoQ10 works is by providing the most important single tool and tools to each and every one of your trillions of cells, because they all have to produce their own energy. They can't rely on their neighbor. So you have trillions of you have actually hundreds of trillions or thousands of trillions of different power plants in each of your cells, these mitochondria, that rely on CoQ10. So it's, again, the actions of individuals can be powerful, and when it comes to an energy product, the action of individual cells is the only way to intelligently attack the problem. And same with our virus we're dealing with, the only way to intelligently attack it is if we all do what we know we're supposed to do as individuals to stop the transmission.
Well, if you'd like to order CoQ10, and again, we could say the best in the world, but it's not just an opinion. If you look at the facts side by side, there is no comparison. I want to show you what Andrew and the team have done for our monthly special. We know we have today's specials, but every month Andrew selects a few products to really offer great value savings. And on CoQ10, amazing pricing, 30, 60, 120 or the 240. 240 offers the biggest savings. Andrew, I don't want to misspeak. Didn't you say yesterday that the pricing for CoQ10 and the ingredients gone up like, did you say 500%?
Yeah. I won't misspeak. Also, you have to turn the chart so it faces the camera better. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm the director here.
This is teamwork, Andrew.
Because I read the reviews and letters and emails, in the past I remember receiving notes telling me I have to make sure the charts face the camera so they're easy to read and less glare. So I read those, as I said before, it's the negative reviews that really stick with me. But you're correct. Toward the end of last year, we had our Today Special at the end of last year. And of course, because we made sure we bought as much CoQ10 as we could, we were able to preserve pricing, and it was best pricing ever. And that we've been able to continue to today. I'm not sure that, and I thought it was so important, especially now, to deliver adequate amounts of CoQ10. It's a really important, I consider it just another vitamin that goes along with, say, with the B vitamins, except it's even more important than any B vitamin in my mind. But I thought it's such an important ingredient right now that we would go through whatever quantity we had purchased at that time. And I think by the end of this year, when we come time to do our Today Special, I think unfortunately the Today Special price will likely be more. It'll be a great price given the market price of CoQ10, but by then we'll have exhausted the supplies we got at the end of last year. And I suspect the CoQ10 price per milligram or per capsule will be higher than it is today. So that's unfortunate, and I recognize that. If we go through all our CoQ10, then I think it's great that everyone got it at the best price possible, and then we'll do the very best we can at the end of the year. But the price has gone up 500% from the price we were paying previously. The market price for CoQ10, for the best CoQ10 in the world, is 500%. I think there's a little bit of shenanigans going on with the various CoQ10 suppliers, the best CoQ10 suppliers in the world. But that kind of happens in industries. I've been doing this far too long. I've watched it before. Back in the day, about 20 plus years ago, we were insulated. We were immune from that price increase because I think the CoQ10, the major CoQ10 manufacturer, was so grateful to me for actually educating the public about the importance of CoQ10.
Right.
But I guess that gratitude didn't last, so now I'm just like anybody else. So I'll do the very best I can come the end of the year before we have to bring our Today Special for CoQ10.
Well, we have one other monthly special that we want to get to, and that's glutathione, just recently added to the line, really 4 decades in the making. We're going to do, I think, a 3 or 4 or 5 minutes here, and then we're going to get to our last chances at our today's specials. Andrew, glutathione, I wrote this down, a critical protective molecule, and something that we should all know a little bit more about.
Yeah, and most of us who really pay attention, say with CoQ10, or say we think about vitamin C or vitamin E in these roles, we hear the word antioxidant. I'm not a big fan of the word antioxidant. I really like protective compound because a lot of what they do is not technically the role of an antioxidant. But glutathione, back when I first started my company, it was well recognized. You could go back and find research, I would imagine, that goes back at least 70 or 80 years when they recognized glutathione inside cells. And glutathione is a molecule. It's what's called a tripeptide. It's 3 amino acids combined together. That makes it a tripeptide, 3. So that tripeptide is combined glutamic acid, the amino acid cysteine, and the amino acid glycine. So glycine, the simplest amino acid, cysteine, a very interesting, important amino acid for our hair, skin, and nails, a sulfur-containing amino acid, which allows proteins to take on a really interesting secondary and tertiary structure because of the presence of the sulfur, and then, of course, glutamic acid. But that is glutathione, and it's those 3 amino acids that gives glutathione its incredible properties. And if you look inside all of your cells and you want to identify the one protective molecule that's involved in capturing or quenching or eradicating, whatever the word you use, free radicals or these errant electrons, these highly reactive species. There's all sorts of words that are used in the clinical studies or the scientific research. Glutathione will be at the top of your list. It's even above something called superoxide dismutase, which SOD, superoxide dismutase, we have not figured out how to deliver orally. I wish we could, but we haven't figured it out. In fact, it took a few decades, as you alluded to, for us to figure out how to deliver glutathione orally so it enhances the levels of glutathione in your cells. And we often say without CoQ10, your cells couldn't produce energy, and your cells wouldn't be alive because they can't produce energy or exist. Well, without glutathione, your cells wouldn't be able to protect themselves from the natural fallout of existence. And certainly liver cells wouldn't last probably a moment without glutathione, given the inherently challenging environment in our liver. So glutathione is the most important protective molecule on a cellular level. And of course, as we know about so many things, I can quote my dad on this one. I think it wasn't true. My dad's 90, and recently he said something to the effect of "aging sucks." So thanks, Dad.
It's true. It's true.
One of the more technically concise expressions I've ever uttered, but it does. And whether it's the levels of glutathione in our cells that suffer, or the levels of CoQ10, our ability to produce energy, our cardiac function, whatever it is, it all suffers with aging. and the quality of our aging is all going to be directly related to how well we overcome those internal changes, how gracefully we deal with those inherent changes. And glutathione is an incredibly important tool on a cellular level to protect the critical inner workings and machinery of all our cells.
Well, price-wise, 30, 60, 120, or 240 caps. If you'd like to add this to your shopping cart, remember, just do it on FlexPay. You don't have to pay the full amount. The savings you still benefit from, we're just going to take the price. In this case, for example, if it's the $119 and change, we spread it out over 4 monthly payments at no extra cost to you. So you're not penalized for doing that. And remember, at the moment, you've got a 90-day money-back guarantee. Andrew, is this something you would take once per day or more than that?
Once per day, no more is necessary. And the level we provided in our glutathione product was the level that was used in the studies that validated the difference it makes. Because, again, I had tried a lot of different glutathione products in the past, and it just didn't achieve a meaningful difference in glutathione level in the body. What good is taking a product if it doesn't deliver a benefit? The only benefit is to someone selling it, and that's not how we've ever worked. As you know, if you've followed my company for decades, there are incredibly popular products that were fraudulent, deceptive, unhealthy, that we never, ever, ever sold.
Right.
Even though folks begged me to do so because they were incredibly popular, everyone was talking about them, and eventually they all disappeared because they were fraudulent and deceptive. So the only product we will make is one that works. So we had to wait for the clinical study, the validation, and then we validated it ourselves that you could actually enhance your glutathione levels using this ingredient.
So between glutathione and, of course, CoQ10, our 2 monthly specials for the month of April, certainly take advantage while they're there. And talking of taking advantage, thus begins our final 2 presentations for today on our 2 Today specials. Choco Nouveau is on the way, but first and foremost, let's talk about our maximum omega-3, the world's finest, ultra pure, ultra potent, all the things that you want, all the benefits, brain, eyes, heart health, but none of the bad stuff, no contaminants, no mercury, no repeating on you, no fishy aftertaste. If you've ever had an omega product, you need to see why Andrew's is quite simply a monster success. Andrew, sometimes it takes a second to kind of sink in, but there are over 3,000 reviews, 3,100 perfect reviews talking about this. It's a fish oil, an amazing omega product, but it gives you some idea of how wonderful it is and how well received it is.
So what's incredible about this product, that almost 90% of the reviews are 5-star reviews.
Yes.
I couldn't even imagine that. I'm trying to think of the most objectively perfect product in the world.
Right.
That almost 90% are 5-star perfect reviews. If you then include our 4-star, our very good reviews, or excellent, whatever you'd call it, that's very good, and 3-star are good, then the very good reviews and the perfect reviews are 95%. You add in the good reviews, it's 98%. So, and what's interesting about omega-3s, and I'll discuss the science again in a moment, but the products out in the marketplace, in the discount stores, out on the internet, in supermarkets and pharmacies, they'd like you to think that all omega-3s are created equal. It would be like saying that if you're going to drive to work, it's like telling you that a scooter is the same as your car.
Right.
It's like saying a 20-year-old Hyundai is the same as a brand new Cadillac SUV or something like that, or a Rolls Royce or a Mercedes. I don't know that it's almost laughable. Because when you really break down what an omega-3 product is supposed to be, first and foremost, it's supposed to be a source of the natural fatty acids that your body can't make and you must have, that are principally present in your brain, in your eyes, for your heart. So let's break that down first. Okay, the natural fatty acids. The typical omega-3 product is synthetic. They've converted those natural triglycerides into ethyl esters because from an industrial standpoint, it's easier to manage them. So from the very get-go, they just took that natural, wonderful ingredient and they turned it synthetic.
Sad.
Then the next thing they do is they focus on EPA, not DHA. In nature, Mother Nature focuses on DHA, but the industrial process, again, focuses on EPA. So I don't care about the industrial process. I care about you. I care about me and my brain. My brain, your brain, is 60% or more, 2/3 DHA. So what do I focus on? I focus on DHA. So ours is in its natural triglyceride form. It focuses on the omega-3. That we should all be inspired to make sure we get our omega-3s every day, whether it's by having fatty fish every day or a supplement every day. We should all be inspired. And if we are inspired, then it needs to be top of our list, needs to be DHA. Unfortunately, it's not top of the list in a typical product. Top of the list needs to be, it has to emulate Mother Nature and be in its natural triglyceride form. Unfortunately, that's not the way they arrive. And then we have to be realistic. We have to realize that if a product is a big capsule that's unpleasant, we will stop taking it.
Right.
If it's going to upset our stomach or a fishy aftertaste, we will stop taking it. No matter whether it's our ophthalmologist or our cardiologist or our internist or whoever it was who insisted we take that product, we will stop taking it because it's unpleasant. So not only did I not stop when I succeeded in creating a great technical product, I quickly learned from the reviews, just like my meal replacement, that I had to make sure the experience of using it was every good as the benefits days later. Because if I made a product that had a fishy aftertaste, which my original one did, it wasn't terrible, but it did have a fishy aftertaste, I wasn't going to be successful with the product, and I was going to get a lot of very unpleasant reviews, which I hate reading. So we had to then focus on how do we eliminate that fishy aftertaste? How do we eliminate the large capsules? It's actually quite easy. You can buy higher quality omega-3 fish oils. If you have them custom made for you, you can get whatever you want. And they're going to allow you to have a smaller capsule, a capsule with no fishy aftertaste, a capsule that focuses on DHA, a capsule that delivers it in its natural triglyceride form. So all those things are possible. It just means that the manufacturer has to make a little bit of an effort on your behalf as the consumer. Unfortunately, I'd say 99% of the products on the market do not. They represent a commodity omega-3 product or a commodity fish oil product that's an inferior omega-3 product. They're really great at delivering fish oils, really bad at delivering quality omega-3s.
No compromise, it's simply the best. And when you see the lineup right there, you see Andrews right smack bang in the middle. These are the other leaders. When I say leaders, I mean best sellers. Not leading in terms of quality, but leading in sales perhaps
They're
over
massive.
here. It's crazy, they're huge.
Massive, and they also use colors, some of them which have no business being in any vitamin product. You shouldn't have to color that vitamin product. And also in the large, if you show in the large bowl, that, you know, the pure omega-3s on their own, they are pretty. I mean, as you can see, and first of all, to fit 720 capsules of 500 milligrams into that container is a result of the concentration of our omega-3s. So our capsule is half the size, but that's the beautiful natural capsules. We don't do anything at all to that. So it's pretty remarkable how wonderful Mother Nature does her job on our own. And as I say, my job is to read the science. My job is to become familiar with our natural blueprint, as I call God-given blueprint or Mother Nature's blueprint, and then my job is to get out of the way, and that's what we do. Whether it's with our multivitamin, whether it's with our omega-3s, we get out of the way, and even whether it's with Choco Nuvo. It's an extract of the cocoa bean, and then we get out of the way. That as we look, the more we pay attention to Mother Nature, the more accessible and available the benefits that the science talks about, more of those benefits become available to us.
Purity, quality, and an enjoyable experience. The best news about today is that you get Andrews Omega product at the best pricing of the year, so that's exciting. You know, you can always find typically Andrews products online at hsn.com, but if you really want the biggest savings, you always look out for the Today Special. There's a 30, 90, 180, 360, or a specialty size done for right now, which is the 720 caps. When we talk about less than 20 cents per capsule, that's the size that we're talking about there. There's so many ways to look at this jigsaw puzzle.
Even on the 360, it's barely over 20 cents a capsule.
Right.
So, and the 360 was for decades our Today Special size,
yeah.
But it was by popular request. I never thought that everybody would want a 720 size. So of course, I listened to your comments, I listened to your reviews, and it's now the most popular size when we do a Today Special. So as I've learned, that we might have a great product development team in Henderson, Nevada, but you're much better at that than we are. So I just pay attention to your reviews, and that's what enables me to make the products in the fashion that you want. And also what I want to say, with the Choco Nuvo, it'll only be till the weather gets too warm. But even with our maximum essential omega-3, as long as we could continue to provide supply, we will, until this runs out, we will keep this pricing. The 720 will probably disappear, and we'll try to keep that in stock. But as long as we don't run out of material, as I said, during this time, and I think it's going to last for the next probably at least 60 days, until things return to normal, my prices won't return to normal. Everything we offer, every single product you reorder will be at its extra special price. If during this time period it was a Today Special and we still can make it, it will still be at that Today Special price. For 30 years, we did a Today Special at midnight, it was gone.
Yeah.
And we've stopped doing that, and we're going to stop doing that for the foreseeable future. And I really hope that things return to normal for the sake of all of us as soon as possible.
And we're proud to be able to offer that as well. Everything that we can do, we are certainly trying to do. HSN's 90-day return, the FlexPay, the free shipping, Andrew and the team able to maintain these values whilst it's available, which is exciting as well. If you're restocking today because you've always bought Andrew's Omega product and you're waiting for the Today Special, obviously we invite you to shop with us. Although we only have 10 minutes left before we go to our Choco Nuvo, I know there's a lot of folks who are tuning in for the very, very first time. And you hear these things, you see the comparison maybe to the Omega product that you just bought from the discount store or the health food store. You hear Andrew talking about the synthetic form versus what you're getting in his Omega product. Andrew, if we're gonna go, you know, to the trouble, as it were, of doing something good for ourselves and really take it, we're buying an Omega product, we want to make sure that it's the best it can be. Otherwise, what's the point?
Well, certainly we want to get benefits. And as I was making quite clear today, it's easy for me to explain and express why our product is head and shoulders above everything else, why it's different, just objectively. First and foremost, that our omega-3 fatty acids are in their natural form. The majority are not in the marketplace.
Right.
That we focus on the most important omega-3 for your brain. And we'll talk about the brain in a little while. We'll talk about vision in your eyes in a little while. That it's very easy to see why ours is so different. It doesn't have a fishy aftertaste. It will never upset your stomach. But as I said before, omega-3s are so important, just so critically important. Again, DHA, the principal ingredient we focus on that the typical product doesn't focus on, that is 65% of the weight of our brain. As concentrated as it is in our brain, it's even more concentrated in the retina of our eye. And as important as it is to those two structures, it's probably even more important to our heart. So given that importance, far be it from me to say that the only product you should get if you want to protect those organs and systems should be mine. I think if you want to protect it best, yes, it will be mine. But any omega-3 product that contains EPA and DHA, even though it's not in the right order, in the right form, it will be better than nothing.
Right. And
that's an investment that's worthy of being made. Because unfortunately, if you're not eating oily fish every day, it's sad. It's unfortunate. You know, this is the way we were designed. And the way we were designed means that we cannot make omega-3 fats. So if we're not eating them on a daily basis, if we're not getting them in a supplement on a daily basis, then there's a consequence. And if we understand and know, and that's what I try to do, is underscore the importance of these omega-3s. I read some charts at the beginning of the first hour that talked about mood and positive outlook and emotional behavior. That the scientific researchers, medical researchers are talking about, looking at the epidemiologic studies, and that the absence of omega-3s might affect the way our brain works in terms of our having balanced moods and balanced emotions. It wouldn't surprise me at all, given the change in our diet and given also the challenges to our emotions and our brain that our modern society creates. Also, memory, concentration, medical acuity. I was reading charts talking about how a healthier brain in terms of omega-3 delivery is a healthier brain in terms of aging. So it's no surprise there when omega-3s are the critical ingredient. And the same thing with our eyes. DHA might be 60% of our brain. It's an even greater percent of the retina of our eye. Why should it surprise us that omega-3s are a critical part of a healthy aging eye? So again, I'm not underscoring the importance of buying my product. Yes, I try to differentiate and distinguish why it's better, but I'm underscoring the importance of why any omega-3 product is a good start. I mentioned last night that in talking to someone who had been I guess the head merchant or something at a large retailer, they told me that they enjoyed it when I talked about omega-3 or CoQ10 because they knew that they would have a lot of people getting omega-3 and CoQ10.
Right.
So I'm acutely aware that that what I talk about stimulates interest in these ingredients elsewhere, far more than our little business here at HSN, and that just makes me feel wonderful to know that it encourages people to perhaps incorporate fatty fish into their diet, to incorporate an omega-3 or a good multivitamin that maybe they can read the label better, even if it's not mine. So it doesn't make me feel resentful whatsoever. It just is exciting to me that it gets people on the right path.
And Andrew, if I may ask, what are some of your favorite fatty fishes that you'd recommend that would be a good idea?
The one that I tend to go for more often than not is salmon, and certainly wild salmon. I have some friends who often go fishing up in Alaska, and when they bring me back some wild salmon from Alaska, that's a treat. We will load up our freezer with that. I often, when we make the dogs generally eat chicken and turkey and things like that. Right. And every once in a while, because I also take our omega-3 and I poke a little hole in the capsule and I squeeze omega-3 into Lincoln and Marcel's food. Right. Because remember, our dogs also have brains and eyes and they have a very accelerated lifespan. So it's important to provide omega-3s to our favorite furry friends as well. So, but again, omega-3s when it comes to fish, when people are asking what I tend to do with fish, and I tend to eat a variety of fatty fish, and the reason why is I get concerned because there are some issues with potential contamination, heavy metals, or whatever it might be, that if you eat too much of one fish, there might be problems associated with that. So I tend to eat a variety. We'll eat shellfish. Muriel she'll often make really yummy stir fry with shrimp or crab. She'll sometimes make lobster pasta. It's great living with a Cordon Bleu French chef. They're always healthy, but again, it's so I try to have a variety, but ultimately I depend on my maximum essential omega-3 to know that I'm getting my omega-3s, my high DHA with EPA, with ALA, with STA, with DPA. No one else does that, to get all of those omega-3 fats every single day without the slightest worry, concern, or risk of contaminant.
Well, I hope we've been able to inspire you, certainly in this final presentation for today, to certainly think about maybe the foods that we're eating, and if you are wanting an omega product, we hope you're gonna try ours. Last look at the pricing. If you'd like to just try it, go for the 30 caps. It's only $12.90, and we're even doing that on 3 FlexPay. So you're saving, of course, across the board. I wanna point out, though, that this is not an inexpensive product. The 720 caps is normally $319.90, and worth every single penny. We're gonna save $180 off that price. Again, less than 20 cents a capsule. You talk about stimulating and inspiring, Andrew, 3,000 reviews. And if anybody wants some nighttime reading, we invite you to check them out. There are so many people who have so much to say about this.
I think it's a little more than 3,000 reviews and a little over 3,000 of them are 5 stars. Yeah. So there's only a few hundred review difference between the total reviews and the 5-star reviews. So I really encourage anyone, certainly I could talk till I say I'm blue in the face, as blue as this shirt. But the reviews speak volumes, and whether it's reviews that talk about absolutely zero, no fishy aftertaste, being the first omega-3 they could swallow, that didn't upset their stomach, whether it's taking to their doctor and their doctor being blown away by the quality of the product and the doctor now recommending it to other patients, whether it's an ophthalmologist or a neurologist or a psychiatrist, whatever it might be, the reviews run the gamut. And what the reviews speak to consistently is the unique quality of the product. Unfortunately, in the vitamin supplement industry, it's strange. When we think of cars, whether it's a Cadillac or a Chevrolet or a Ford, we think of the manufacturer makes that car. So if we like that car, we have a sense of what that manufacturer is going to do with that car. When you're getting when you're getting vitamin supplements, more often than not, they're made by a contract manufacturer. that has no relationship other than manufacturing it for the person that's selling it to you. So we're unique in that we are actually the company that it is. I founded the company back in 1979. We started making all our own products, and we continue today making all our own products. And that is the reason why they're unique. Because if you had the ability to make your own products, you would not make them like the others. You just wouldn't. If you had any education at all in biochemistry or the sciences or medicine, you could not do that, not in any kind of good conscience or any kind of integrity or ethics. So unfortunately, the products we see sitting on shelves and typically being sold on the internet, these are products that are manufactured by contract manufacturers and meet a different set of standards, not the same standards that I choose to meet. So I want a product that not only delivers on the science, delivers on Mother Nature's blueprint, but does it in a way that you'll fall in love with. That I often say, the vitamin companies, normally in an industry, you'd owe a debt of gratitude to the vitamin companies that preceded you. I'm not sure if I do, because most of those companies discouraged people.
Right.
It turned people off to the benefits that could come from taking a vitamin because they were hard to swallow. They upset people's stomach. I know when I was a kid, I hated taking the vitamin that my mom gave me because it gave me a bellyache. And so it's interesting how an industry has evolved that there are so few folks that actually make their own products. And invariably, when you see the better products on the market, they're made by companies that are actually invested in their own technology, their own manufacturing, and their own facilities.
That's really been one of the big benefits of having Andrew on television for 30 years nearly, is you're getting the information directly from the source. Andrew, you're able to bring this to life, to say it exactly as it is, to share with everybody really what this is all about. And what it is, from top to bottom, is the finest omega product in the world today. I hope you take advantage for sure. We've certainly talked about the size difference, the potency difference. We've talked about no fishy aftertaste, no contaminants, no mercury. Now's your turn to order. We're going to round out this hour with our second today's special. Of course, it's for chocolate lovers everywhere. The finest, most delicious chocolate in the world today, which just so happens to be more heart healthy. And as you can read with, again, lots of reviews, thousands of reviews, helps to lower cholesterol. Andrew, today I was thrilled that you did the cafe version as well as the traditional chocolate version. Easter is upon us, of course. A lot of us love our chocolate, and a lot of us are snacking more and nibbling more, as we say in England, on little things, nighttime snacks. You really have created a product that, even back when you started, most folks would probably have said you were crazy, because most of us don't love the taste of many dark chocolates.
Well, unfortunately, dark chocolate, it's not America's favorite in terms of chocolate. By far and away, milk chocolate is. But dark chocolate is the beneficial one, and not by a little. And I've mentioned this previously. I'm not sure if everyone is really aware just how healthy and just how beneficial dark chocolate is. Such that I would recommend, it doesn't have to be mine, and I'm salivating because I think of the chocolate, that get a dark chocolate, something, I always say it has to be north of 60% of cacao. So you want above 60%. We have 66, 74, and 91 is the darkest. But dark chocolate is something that should be a healthy part of everyone's diet. You don't have to take a huge portion, but the protective compounds in dark chocolate far outnumber than the protective compounds even in green tea, even in red wine. So the richest source in my diet, the richest source of protective polyphenols that I eat every day, pound for pound, gram for gram, it's dark chocolate. It's my Choco Nouveau. And what's unique about our Choco Nouveau, dark chocolate is typically not a favorite in America because it's dry, it's gritty, it's kind of bitter. That our dark chocolate, I'm a milk chocolate lover. Yeah. I had to make a dark chocolate for a milk chocolate lover, me. So our dark chocolate isn't bitter. It's super rich, but it's not bitter. It's a creamy texture, and that creamy texture comes from something that emulates, that simulates, that copies the texture of the milk fat in milk chocolate. Milk chocolate's creamy because of milk fat.
Right.
Our chocolate is creamy because of our cholesterol-lowering ingredient that looks and behaves exactly like fat. I am salivating. It's funny. I know you're having one there. So, but again, our dark chocolate delivers. It's as we were saying about omega-3. It's one thing for me to deliver a product that lowers your total and LDL cholesterol substantially. It's another thing for me to deliver the beneficial compounds present in dark chocolate, which is the highest concentration of protective compounds in any food we eat. And then it's a whole nother thing for me to make it not just scientifically sound and beneficial, but to make it a taste experience, a sensory experience, an aesthetic experience that is better than anyone else. And I said this earlier, my parents instilled in me this desire to do things at the very best I can. Yeah. So I tirelessly, indefatigably continue to try to do something well. And at our dark chocolate, we started with, I searched for the people in the world who are obsessed about the quality of their chocolate that they grow as I could find. And that came from South America. So that's what I started with. And then the ingredient we added to lower your cholesterol made this dark chocolate have the texture of milk chocolate. So it's something that I'm not happy until something truly is perfect as it can possibly be. I always say, I think it was Ralph Waldo Emerson that said, there's one best way to do everything. And we have truly succeeded when it comes to Choco Nuvo at the best way. And then our brand new version of Choco Nuvo, our Choco Nuvo Cafe Crunch. And it is crunchy. So if you want something that has like cafe liqueur and is going to be smooth and creamy like our other chocolate, we still have the creamy chocolate in the Choco Nuvo Cafe, but you're going to have a hint of kind of crunchy texture in it. It's amazing. It's delicious. And you can see how dark and rich, that's the 74%. The 91% is even darker. And what's great about ours, you can even see a typical dark chocolate will look white when you break it. It doesn't have that dark chocolate. And ours still has that creamy texture. And when it's in your mouth, you could just leave it in your mouth. Dark chocolate will just sit there in your mouth and not melt. Our dark chocolate melts in your mouth just like milk chocolate.
I hope you try it because I know how much you're going to love it. For everybody watching at home, again, if the answer to this question is yes, you've got to get it. Do you love chocolate? If you're raising your hand, then please, please, please order this. As you place your order, there's another consideration as well, and that is it's going away. We don't want it to go away, but it has to go away. We can't ship this in the summer months because as the sun shines, it's going to melt the chocolate, and we want the chocolate to arrive to you in perfect condition. So in terms of the orders that you can place tonight, there are different serving sizes. That's a wrong one. Let me get the right one on for you. That's omega-3. Right. Over this side, you'll see I have the right chart. This is going to be, in terms of different servings, a 30, there's also going to be a 60, a 180, and also the larger size. Andrew, if we order the larger size today, there's even a bonus buy, so we get $10 more off the price.
This is, again, something that was requested. I was surprised that people get multiples of the large size, frankly. But I guess if it's for a couple of people and you're having 2 or 3 squares, you want to have 2 squares a day to lower your total. You can have as many as you want. This is not a drug. This is not a medicine. And just ignore where it says uniquely formulated to lower cholesterol. If you could put your hand up and cover the graphic and just look at this as being the most delicious dark chocolate you'll ever taste, that even if you're a milk chocolate lover, you'll love the 66 or the 74, that it truly is, that it happens to be the science of cholesterol reduction. The same reason why milk chocolate tastes so wonderful and creamy is because of milk fat. The cholesterol-lowering ingredient sort of looks like cholesterol, looks like a fatty molecule. Because it does, it blocks the absorption of cholesterol, it blocks the reabsorption of bile salts, and in so doing lowers your cholesterol. So science is making this all possible. Science is why it lowers cholesterol, and not a little, but a lot. And it's not a drug, it's not a medicine. Children can have this. You can have as many as you want. So it's not something, and again, it's only 25 calories. So even if you have 4 of these a day, it's barely 100 calories. Right. And it's lower calories than any other snack or any other chocolate. And we only make it in these 25 calorie squares because we want this to just be used as a little treat because it's so delicious. Texture is wonderful, but it truly is, and I say this in all humility, that it's just something we found but anybody could do this. If you start with a great chocolate and then you add these plant sterol esters, it's a little tricky how you add them, but you end up with a dark chocolate with the texture of milk chocolate, with all the richness and none of the bitterness of dark chocolate and it's lower in sugar than if you had 25 calories of celery or cucumber or blueberry. So it really is the world's perfect chocolate product, bar none. And it's something that I'm very, very proud of. And I often say, and I've been told as well, that if I didn't emphasize the health benefits, and if I just said, this is the best, most decadent dark chocolate in the world, nothing comes close, it would be more popular. But I'm equally proud of the fact that we have reviews. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reviews that talk about substantial reductions in total and LDL cholesterol. We're talking 10, 15, 20%, 30%. You can get incredible reductions in typical is between 10 and 20%. If you make proper modifications to your diet, add a little fiber, reduce a little saturated fat and cholesterol, you can get reductions that are only available with cholesterol-lowering drugs. It works perfectly with cholesterol-lowering drugs. This is not contraindicated or a problem with any drug of any kind. It's just the best chocolate in the world with a natural ingredient that lowers total and LDL cholesterol.
And again, it's individually wrapped. We talk about 25 calories per square, but put some of these in the drawer at work, have some of these at home, give these out to friends and family when they come over. It's a treat, and honestly, Andrew, it's an icebreaker, because when somebody tastes it, they marvel at how well it tastes and how gorgeous it is, but then when you throw in there that it's also heart healthy, nobody believes it's true.
It's not just an icebreaker. What's very funny, when people come to my house, certain people might go over to my vitamin shelf because, oh, I forgot to take my Fibromucil today, I forgot to take my Omega today. Certain people. But now it's kind of a ritual. If you come in my house, everybody's going to go for the Choco Nuvo. They go right to the Choco Nuvo. They don't ask. They go right to the Choco Nuvo.
Help themselves for sure, I bet. Yeah. Just like I've been doing here, I'm going to have my own little stash. We wish this could go on forever. Of course, this is our final presentation for today, and our pricing is sensational. Buy the big set, the big version, the big servings, get another one and get $10 off it. Andrew, I do want to stress that because gourmet chocolate is very expensive. This is gourmet chocolate.
This is, there's no finer chocolate in the world than what we've chosen, or what I've chosen personally. This was me, and I have a very, very finicky palate. And and not only that, and it then even gets more difficult if you want it to be organic and fair trade.
Sure.
So most of those gourmet chocolates that are truly expensive, they're not organic and fair trade. So ours is organic and fair trade. It's not bitter. It's low in sugar. It lowers cholesterol substantially, and it is absolutely, positively, bar none. And you don't hear me say this. I'll talk about my omega-3 product and differentiate and things like that. But this is, without question, going to be your best tasting chocolate experience of your life. And there's nothing like a dark chocolate like this. I'm someone who likes milk chocolate. I still love milk chocolate. This is the only dark chocolate that I love. And I think you'll feel the same way once you get it home.
And I just want to vouch for that. I never liked dark chocolate. You couldn't pay me enough money to eat dark chocolate. I eat this dark chocolate because it tastes better than any other dark chocolate. So I don't want that to be a barrier. You got to try Andrew's. Now, I always go, Andrew, for me, it's the 66% cacao. That's my favorite. But I know the best seller seems to be the one in between, the 74.
74. I'm a guy, I go mostly for the 74.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll even have the 91, which I would never go near 91% chocolate normally, but I'll do the 91 just because I know it's so rich in protective compounds. But the 74 Cafe, I have to say now, that's maybe one day I'll get tired of it, but not anytime soon. So all I've been doing right now is the 74% Cafe Crunch. I just love the texture. I love the flavor. It's an amazing blend of rich dark chocolate, not bitter, with cafe.
Well, Andrew, as always, I appreciate our time together. It's a wonderful and welcome distraction. Andrew, when will we see you again?
We were typically going to be on in June, but we might do one of these little shows in May.
Okay.
Just as an opportunity to just say hi to everyone. And I'm not sure what we'll have available, but is always something to talk about when it comes to health and wellness. So we might be on in about a month or so in May.
And Andrew, again, your words are so powerful, and we appreciate your wisdom and guidance as well on this. It's a strange time, but as you said, this too shall pass.
This too shall pass, and it'll pass quicker to the extent we all as individuals understand our power, both to affect ourselves individually, but even more appropriately and more properly said, to affect our collective experience. To the extent we all do it well individually, our collective experience will be better. This will be over sooner, and the consequences along the way will be that much diminished. So stay safe, make good decisions, follow the guidance that's out there, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Andrew, thank you so much. Stay safe as well to you, Muriel, Lincoln and Marcel, the whole family. And again, for all of you who are tuning in, watching Your Vitamins with Andrew Lessman, we appreciate you. Stay in the ordering process for our today's specials. Stay safe and healthy. Wash those hands, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
People know they can be guaranteed that when they tune in, they're going to